Yo, check one, two.
I was in the airport. I was in the airport when we was going to Cancun. The dude was like, TSA. He was like, he seen my mic in the bag. He's like, mic check 1 2 1 2. My mic check sounds good. Mic check sounds good. Yeah.
Hey man, we back for another live session, man. Live session number 8. It's All You Redemption podcast. I Number 8, man. It's crazy. Last week was last week was powerful. The last live session, I think that might have been, what I'm saying, that might have been one of them. If y'all missed it, we still got footage out there from it on our platforms.
Yeah.
But we really got into it last week, bro.
Yeah. It'll get more and more involved as things start flowing. So
Yeah.
it's just getting better.
I think the thing, that I can appreciate is the people that's getting involved. We're starting to
Yeah.
see more and more people, different people, and people get questions answered. People starting to put things into perspective and apply it to their life and really kind of just come in and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Just come in and let's chat. You know what I mean? We all trying to figure this thing out. Let's figure it out together. So, I like that a lot.
Yep. So we gotta get into understanding of a lot of. I know one person reached out to me and was like, where's episode 8?"
Right.
So we got to tell them
Just
about
wait
that.
on it.
Yeah, just wait on it.
Just wait on it. Like the Migos said, just
Yeah,
just
just
wait
wait
on
on
it.
it.
We definitely
Got
got
something in the
something
making.
special. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got
We
something in
cooking
the
up
making.
something. Definitely cooking up something.
Yeah, but
So
let's uh let's talk about this real quick because I just want to. Well, okay, I can't get into it because we got to do the IOU moments first.
yeah, slow down. Slow down.
It's
Slow
just
down.
it just bothers me. It bothers me a lot. But
Yeah,
let's get into
we
the IOU moments, man.
yeah, let's get something to the people.
Well,
What we got?
yeah. So I'll go first because you said I need to start going first some too, right? So this
Yeah.
is, but again, this bothers me. So my IOU moment.
Okay. Go ahead. Take off.
Take off. Yeah, take off. Yeah. Don't forget that as you elevate in life, your influence will also follow. So be mindful of this when speaking. In other words, when you start hitting these different milestones in life, you might find new riches. You might find yourself on a platform where you can speak to individuals in masses. Like you may be able to reach the masses of the audience,
Hmm.
right? You may
Yeah.
be able to talk to whoever you want, whenever you want, just by the click of a record, your phone, whatever. Be mindful that because you've reached that status in society, that you have major influence. And if you are not careful, you can damage a lot of different individuals because of the choices they'll make based on what you tell them.
Yes.
Mindful.
And that kind of go back to some things that I've kind of talked about as far as, you know, I really take it personal when somebody tell me they look up to me. I really take it personal when somebody say I influence them or I look to you for something. You know what I mean? Because not every there's people that are born, live, and die. Nobody really looks up to them. They never really reach that potential for somebody to want to mimic their moves or really value their opinion or their body of work, right? So when
Yeah.
somebody really looks up to you or something, I don't care if it's your little cousin, your child, your neighbor, a relative, whatever, that's a big deal. You should take it personal because, and again, like you say, the bigger the platform, it's just the more and more people, right? Um, but a lot of people abuse it. A lot of people abuse their platforms. A lot of people don't understand that the influence that they have, and they use their influence in the wrong way. Instead of
Yeah.
bringing people on, you really can kill people off and send people off.
Send them
So
off. That you sending people off big time.
yeah,
That's what we so major
we,
key there.
yeah, we go circle back to that. We go circle
For
back on that.
sure.
So let's get to my IOU moment. Let's get to mine. And this one here is straight to the point. Be careful who you hate on, because that might be the very person God sent to bless you. What do I mean? I know it's one of them, and I've been saying that for years. Um, because I genuinely have never really, I've never hated on a person for anything. Even somebody had more than me or whatever, I've never hated on a person. And people find themselves in situations where, you know, you really can block your blessings, the conversations that you're in, the type
Yeah.
of conversations you have around people, or the judgment you place on people, and things of that nature. Um, so what I mean by that is most people think that they don't even think that deep, right? You know me, I'm a critical thinker, sometimes too
Yeah.
critical.
Yeah.
Think that their blessing just has to come from whoever they expect it from, the pastor, a relative, mama, daddy, you know what I mean? Husband, wife, sister, brother,
Yeah.
best friend. Um, you don't know God's plan for you. You don't know what form of that blessing he's going to send to you. You don't know what form that blessing is going to come into. It could be the very person that you continuously put a wedge between yourself, and you find yourself hating them or hating on them or judging them for.
Had to zoom in on that.
Hey, stop zooming in on my face like that, dog. But um, no, just be careful of that, because a lot of people lose sight of that, man. You don't know where God plans on bless you, what season He plans on bless you, how He plans on delivering that blessing to you. So just, I'm not saying you got to befriend everybody and whatever, and let people run over you. But like when you actually find yourself hating on somebody because of maybe something that somebody else done told you, or they got something that you just don't have yet, right? Um, be mindful. You know what I mean? God may have sent that person to bless you. And that's the way I live my life. That's why I'm careful on the conversations I have, the mindset that I have around people, and maybe some of the things that they've had or I want or they've obtained in level of successes or different things, or just I watch my conversations, and I have to check myself because I'm a person like everybody else. But as far as hating on somebody, be cool with that and understand God may send a blessing to you in a form that you don't even, that you're not even expecting, or from a direction that you're not even expecting. So I just want to put people on that and keep that on your mind when when we going about these relationships and situations in our lives.
Yeah. And this is one of the situations where you never know what a person is crossing your path for. You don't know who's going to
Right.
come in your life and be able to tell you something that you need to know. And you could do something like push it off, not want to speak to that person, not want to introduce yourself, uh, hate on that person, whatever it is, but that's the person that God sent to
Yeah.
bless you.
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah,
Let's
man,
get let's get
let's
into
get
it.
into it. Yeah.
All right. All right. We back. What mom put on there? She said, let's start over real quick. Mom said, let's talk about burning bridges.
Where
Yeah.
is that? Okay, but what is that stemming from? Like, what is that in response to? To which comment? Is it your IOU moment?
I believe it comes from the IU moment. But I
Okay.
just look at burning bridges like some. Okay, again, this is my thought process. Some bridges need to be burned. Some bridges you may have should have never crossed. Um, but I do think that you should be mindful of the things that you do to people. Um, in
Yeah.
whatever season that you meet them, because again, you may need that person for something later on down the line. That person may be able to help you down the line, or you know what I mean. And at that time that you burned that bridge, now you come back, and that maybe that person's not willing to help anymore. Maybe that relationship is broken. Um, it's torn up to the point to where it's unrepairable. Um, so I look at that two ways. I've crossed some bridges and put M80s on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we burn them up, because but a lot of people aren't mindful. They do things and they get in their own feelings and they get in selfish ways and they talk and do things and forget that, once something's rolled out of your mouth, you can't roll it back up. And once you do things to people, they'll never forget that, right? Some things you just can't unsee once it's done. Um, so I get that with the bridges. So what you what you have? Because I know you've been chewing on
I'm
some things.
I'm really trying to get this pulled up. I want the people to see this, and I don't know if I can do it, but spare me some time, cause I wanna I wanna show this, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. But give me a second, cause I'm looking for it. So kick off something. Just talk something else
So
real quick.
I want to kind of back up a little bit. And I was gonna throw a little audible anyway, because last week when we were talking about paycheck to paycheck and we had some good dialogue and we were just going over, underpaid, and we went over survival mode. Uh, we got so locked in and we was rolling with the punches. We
Yeah,
forgot to talk about the last thing, which was the social media pressures.
yeah. Go
And
ahead.
and I
Yeah,
think that
we
that's
don't. Yeah, I like this transition. Yeah,
yeah. So
go ahead.
I think that the social media pressures is very valuable and something, that we definitely don't need to leave off. So I want to kind of get back to at least just talk a little bit about
Yeah,
that, and in regard to just the things we see, because social media pretty much rules a big vast variety of the world, thought
yeah,
processes and everything. I mean, down to what people are eating nowadays, it's all social media influence. um
yeah.
I'm guilty of it too. What do you mean by that? Look at it. Look at lamb chops. Where the bruh, bruh, we enjoy lamb chops now, don't we? We
Yeah.
go out, we may order some lamb chops.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
mama. Listen, you didn't grow up eating no lamb chops.
No, sir.
You didn't do social media show us lamb chops. Now I'm saying, just I'm telling you, now some people won't even go out to eat without
Yeah.
getting some lamb chops. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever
Yeah.
else. I'll be cracking up. It's all
Yeah.
social media. Um,
All social media.
it's all social medias. And
Hey,
the cars that you drive, the clothes that you wear, um,
facts.
the living locations.
Cap, if you
Hold on,
now
Facts.
hold.
hold on.
I ain't got, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going. I
What
just
I'm
want to get
saying
a
is
few.
this. What I'm saying is this. Down to the living locations. When we talk about
Yeah.
social media pressures, um, it was kind of, you almost made me lose my train of thought, but I got it. It was more so of the fact of even people live places that other people will deem cool, that's not even affordable for them,
Yeah.
because it sounds good, because it's a good conversational piece, because it makes a good hashtag. Or when you go on Instagram or Snapchat or something, you can go left and right and it show like San Diego, it'll show New York City, it'll show, but you living, you know what I'm saying? You're not living well, you're not living good. You got 3, 4, 5 roommates and whatever else. And again, I'm not judging, I'm just saying this is the mindset. Wherever I lay my head, I can go visit. The day has changed, right? People travel all over the world. Traveling is an all-time high now. You can go visit those places that you may
Yeah.
not be able to afford to actually live. Okay. But where you lay your head, that should be somewhere comfortable, somewhere you can get the most bang for your buck, right? Um, and those other places, that's why we got planes and trains and cars and highways and byways. Go visit them places. But that's where I was at with the social media pressures, man. And I just want people to be mindful of that, because we got all these websites out there. You got the Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikToks, you got
Yeah.
whatever else, and you become so consumed, you start thinking, acting, and behaving, and building your life around
The
fakeness,
other. Yeah.
uh, stuff people already got set up, like staged life stuff. Like it's all staged and fabricated down to the, man, I'm talking everything. you know what I mean, down the BBLs and everything. I mean, that's a slippery slope to go down, but it's one of those things where being natural bodies and all type of stuff. It's just you got to be careful with the social media, man, because that'll make you think you got to afford to do this and this is really lit and it's not and XYZ. You know what I mean? So
We living paycheck to paycheck.
yeah, so that's the last little piece I want to touch on with that, man, with the social media, with the cars, clothes, and living locations and stuff like that.
So I'm about to play a clip, and you first of all let me know if you can hear this audio because I need this to be heard. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it, and then you let me know.
Whoa.
Hmm.
If you're not gonna
Now,
hold on,
hold.
let me finish. Let me finish the statement. If you're not gonna chase,
Can you hear that?
if you're not gonna
Loud and
chase the
clear.
degree, people.
Okay. So you can hear it. Let's go. I'm starting it over. Let's refresh the page. Okay. Now listen. I want to preface this. Okay. I just so happen to get on here, Instagram, and I see this, right? This is $1 million worth of game. Gilly the Kid and Wallow. They got Offset on here. All right. And it just so happened this is the second time this has happened with $1 million worth of game. The first time it was with just Wallow and Gilly. And Gilly was saying basically that Wallow was crazy for what he was saying. He alluded to saying that, and I don't know verbatim what he said, but he said it on the lines of like saying this is that when you go to jail, you can get an education in jail. So
Right.
he decided to say that there are similarities between the education you getting in jail and saying that it's like going to college.
Hmm? Yeah, you got to play that, man.
Oh, so that's the first. I'm not even gonna play that one, but that one it pissed me off.
Right.
Because what are we doing in society now to say to even open our mouths and say that and try to get on that level and pair jail with college? Let's stop doing that. That's ridiculous. That's what's wrong with us now. It's sickening actually. And then I get on there today and I see this and we got Offset and I'm gonna just let you hear what he said. So
College and all that. I feel like it's cap if you're not
Now,
gonna.
hold.
If you're not
Now,
gonna hold on,
hold.
let me finish it. Let me finish the statement. If you're not gonna chase the degree, people get degrees and don't chase the degree. Somebody go try to get a master's for like, say for instance, get a master's in electrician to be the best electrician, right? But don't go
Talking
to
about
be a bit, but don't go to be a businessman.
Well, that,
So it's like when you get the qualification don't match what you're trying to do to make some more money.
I never understood that either.
But hold, don't say it's cap though, because
But that's why I was trying to explain
Yeah.
the other side of it. If you chase what you're getting, then you get into these different jobs and these different places. If you study business, anytime somebody in college and you don't study business, how the hell you gonna go be a boss?
a lot of us ain't you a boss. You
I'm
ain't
talking about people that go to college
all
and
right.
go 4
But
years and then they go 4 years again and get a master's with school. I feel like school count.
oh my gosh. Hold on, man.
Yeah, bring yourself back up.
Oh my gosh. Let me get rid of this, man.
You go first.
Dog. Listen, this pisses me so I'm sorry. This pisses me off so much because here we are. First of all, I'm an electrical engineer degree, right? And
Right.
I'm gonna say it for Offset. He's explaining the situation where if you go to school, you might get a bachelor's or you might get a master's, and you want to study electrical engineering. An electrician is the trade that you might go to or pursue. You might not need a higher education degree for that. Okay, that's setting that straight. The second thing is that Offset is correct in what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that a lot of people will go to college and they will take on a major, let's say like an electrical engineering degree, right? This is society teaches us to go to college, and when we finish that degree, when we obtain that degree, to go work for an employer.
Right.
What he's trying to say is that we should go to college, get our degree, get the tools and skills that we need, and then go, since we have a degree of that caliber, go form our own business as in an electrical contractor and take on contract roles, take on commercial jobs, and you do your
Right.
business that way. And he's saying that basically when you study the skill of electrical engineering in college, that you don't understand how to operate from a business standpoint because you didn't study the things about business. It's totally that's okay. And
Yeah.
I understand that what he's trying to say, but he didn't say it right, and what he said was very misleading. In his this is why I brought up my IOU moment. Go ahead and chime in if you need to say something because I'm gonna keep coming with it. But I'm just trying to tell you that this is terrible because here we are in a society where Offset got the platform. Why are we talking to Offset anyway about why is he getting this question asked to him? Last time
Yes.
I checked, get somebody up there who been through the experience of college to tell you the things that need to be said. They're going to tell you what their experience is and share their knowledge on the situation. You can't obtain knowledge and advice from somebody who didn't go through it and didn't do it. Now, this is what I hear on the other side with Caucasians. Son, you can't go to this college, you can't go to that college, you can't go to college and study. What is it, Greg? What can't they study?
What you, hold on.
What
Hold on.
what can they not go to college and
Oh,
study?
they can't go to school for stuff that's like not gonna pay out. Like they're not gonna.
Give me an
They're
example.
not. They're not gonna send their kids to. They're not gonna send their kids to Stanford for a physical education degree.
That's what I wanted you to say. Because you
They're
said
not
nothing
gonna do
earlier.
that. They're
Okay,
not gonna.
so
They're not gonna
right.
do that. They're
So
not
what
gonna
I'm
do that.
saying is
They're not gonna do that.
this is what I'm talking about. And this full circle here. Because our people in our society, we don't talk to our kids about the things that you need to study in college. We don't talk to them about what's cool to study, what's gonna get you the most money, what pairs up with your passion to do in college. We just either say don't go or you can go. We can't pay for you, but you get there how you want to get there. So now when we get there, we don't know what we want to study.
Hold
Then
on.
you got people who go there and they study badminton or they study physical education or something. They can't make no money in, and guess what? They there for like 8 years, and then they come out with all this debt and then blame college on why it didn't work for them. And now you got people
Yes.
like this making comments saying that it's cap and you didn't study. First of all, not everybody wants to be a boss. Not everybody wants to be Mark Zuckerberg and have to carry the weight on their shoulders of all these families and kids that depending on you to run this company correctly. Some people just want to go to college, get the money, and then
Yeah.
come out and work for an employer, and that's okay. I don't know why people think that's like even some of my favorite rappers, Nipsey Hussle and all of them used to say like self-made, don't independent, don't sound nobody. I'm my own boss. Dolph, you say that. I mean that's cool, but you gotta understand where they coming from in the rap game. They was they to this day they was getting no okay, I won't say that. They was getting all their money taken away from them because they didn't understand the contracts. They came from nothing. They didn't know how to read this stuff they was signing. It was something to get them out of this struggle. So it makes sense for them to be like, nah, I'm independent. I ain't doing all that, right? But you coming from studying in college to getting your degree and then getting out with an employer, it's okay to work for somebody. Don't let these people fool you and think and tell you that you always got to be a boss. Because don't nobody always want to be a boss. And the thing is, that I don't like what Offset said is that he making it seem like it's just like you got to go to college and then if you don't work, if you don't create your own business, then you fail. First of all, you can go to college, study what you want, and then come up out of that thing and then go back in and get an MBA. And
Yeah.
then now you did what you were supposed to do on the skill set. Now you got the MBA. It's so many routes you can go. And I just think this trash because now we got people like him and the people on that platform, Gillingham, who let this ride. And then guess what? The other people on the other networks, they're going to let this ride too because now, yes, let them talk about that, not going to college because that's going to keep them down below where they at like Roddy Rich. And they ain't going to talk about other things that need to be talked about in society that's happening because that's the Me Too and all of
Hey.
that. That's nothing that we want to be shown out there. We don't want that to affect our image, but we're going to talk about telling the kids not to go to college because that's cap. And the thing is that when you do that, now you wondering why all these kids running around skipping college, skipping school, and laying people down, shooting people, because you telling them not to go to college.
Yeah.
Give them some other things to do. Then stop telling why they shouldn't go that route and do it that way. You can do it a different way, but just don't do it that way.
So, hey, you look lighter now that you got that off your chest.
Man.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know why we find ourselves keep talking about this, right? And listen, there's another thing. I'm in a lot of circles. I'm around a lot of people. We're the only people that have these conversations out loud. We're the only people that push this type of agenda of anti-formal education.
Is college
We're,
still working? Are you crazy?
we're the only ones that do that, and I don't understand that, bro. I don't hear it or see it anywhere else. But what I do know is this: this is another tool that will be pushed out for people to see on platforms, on the radio, and social media, whatever else, to poison the people and let you self-destruct, just like drugs and everything else that are brought over and find their way in our communities. It's the same type of thing because they're like, okay, they're gonna sit back, look at it. In order for you to see that information, right? Somebody had to $1 million worth of game. They don't own the network, right? They're a brand within the streaming on a streaming platform, right? So they let that be published because they want that to get out.
Yeah.
Now let them have got on there talking about something else, talking about topics that people don't talk about nowadays, and I ain't gonna go there because look, can't even go there, right?
No, I will because they do it to the church. You can't go into the church talking about gay marriages and things like that. You get church to get a lawsuit. And I
Yeah,
stick up for the church. So I'm just saying,
yeah,
talk
I'm
about
just
it
saying.
all. Don't
But
just,
they can put out that information, which is silly. And like you said, Offset. Okay, cool. He's an unqualified individual. Um, it's unqualified individuals talking to other unqualified individuals. If you really want to have a good conversation, bring some people in with some of that experience, like you said, that went through it. Um,
yeah.
and for these rappers and stuff, man, music has a big influence over life in itself, but they miss their beat because they forget that they come where they come from with that type of situation. So just because they wake up with the finest linens and got the nice cars and fine girls and jewelry and bank account looking good, now you think you can talk about, but last time I checked, like Offset was like a felon, like kicking doors and doing all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, be
I
careful,
like
people.
Offset, man.
I like them too, but I'm just saying, be careful of the messages you listen to
Gotta
because
be
people,
careful,
these
man.
artists, bro, be putting out stuff and people be putting out stuff that they don't even teach their own kids, is what I'm telling you. They'll put stuff out there, want to trick you off your positions, you and your little cousins and whatever else, and have y'all crashing out. And then they doing something completely different. Like I said before, like the Megans and Stallions and all them other people who be, promoting that thought culture. Some of them really just be at home with one man, but they telling the
Man,
girls to,
Megan Thee Stallion a graduate. So,
yeah, but
like,
on the education level.
even
But I'm saying you get exactly what I'm
well, I
saying.
know, but that's the difference though. That people got to
She don't
understand,
push
like,
the dummy agenda. She push
yeah.
like she a part of what I consider the thought culture. So yeah,
Well, I
so
mean,
that's two different things.
yeah, this like that's her stage thing, like where her rapper profile, like that's what gets everything going. But like in real life, she even when she off camera, like not performing, she not teaching people that. She Megan Thee Stallion posting pictures. I remember when she was in school about like how she's studying and doing this about the good. Like that's what we need. That we can't have people doing this what they doing comparing
Now
to
we need people to be
jail.
the same people that they is on camera that they is when the lights is off. Don't come poisoning my kids and me and my mindset and
That's what
all
I'm
that,
saying.
and then want to go be Al Sharpton when the camera off. I don't
Yeah,
respect that. I don't
come
respect that.
on,
I can't.
man. It's just crazy how we doing that, and then we want to talk about how we always oppressing at the bottom and things like that. It's because we letting that ride.
Yeah.
We saying stuff like that, and okay, if we don't go to college, what we gonna do then? What I know there's other things you can do, but that's the point. Tell them that you can't just go to college and major in something that ain't gonna get you nowhere,
That's
and
the
also
thing.
tell them that there's other options to college. Don't just leave it there.
Yeah. I was
You
just
make
saying, and I
somebody want to.
I tell people this: if you're gonna go to school, pick a field that pays well. Pick a field that would provide a lifestyle that you want to live. You know what I'm saying? And again, when we mention certain degrees, we're not trying to downplay it. I'm just talking about the facts. It's the facts out there that
I'm not
certain
finna make no money from no
being
man.
a being like I said, going for physical education. You could do that at Ivy Tech for a cheaper price than to go to, like I said, one of these big
That's
schools.
the
Go to
thing,
IU, go
man.
to U of H, go to Stanford somewhere. You're not going to do that. I know people like that. I know men that are putting their kids through school. I'm talking like like Penn State, like big schools, and it's like for a degree that's not going to pay no money, but you paying that fat bill. That's not on the school or college. That's on you as an
Yeah,
individual. You know what I mean?
and
You
you
got
gotta
to
know
put
what you want to
yourself
do
in a
with it.
position. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You
So
got a million options.
I don't think, and I'm gonna cut you. I don't think that education needs to be scrapped. I think it needs to be revamped.
Yes, the system, like,
I think the
yes,
system needs to be revamped to
yes,
put people in position to deal with more of real life situations.
real world skill sets.
Yeah, like that part, not
Yes,
scrapped, but revamped. And
yes,
that's where I would put that. There, yeah. But to be like scrapping it, that's crazy to me.
yeah. So that's the soapbox, man. I guess we could get on after we ask a few questions, but man, social media influence, that pressure, it's crazy out there. And if you ain't careful, I, I seen something else. I follow a lot of good people on my personal Instagram. I didn't have one, but um, it just makes more sense for me to be alive and active on there with this platform. So one of the persons I follow, he said something. He said, your procrastination is keeping someone else from reaching their goals. And what he means by that is, if we procrastinate on this podcast, if we don't put out videos, we don't help you like with this stuff where I'm breaking that topic down, you come
Right.
across it, I've already broke it down for you, so now you know better. But if we don't have this, you might have been like ready to go to college or whatever you're trying to do and seen that and been like, oh yeah, they got all the money and stuff. They must know. No, they wrong. And I'm here to tell you, keep following your goals, your dreams, do what you want to do, because again, never take advice from somebody who ain't done it. You go try it. You go do what you want to do and you try it, because nobody else think like you think. Nobody else got the skill set like you got. Nobody else got the vision that you got. You
Right.
got to go do it and get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
These
I would definitely.
characters out here, man.
Man, it's a lot of characters, bro. And that's what I always try to just be mindful. Because we all fall victim of it. If you just got to be careful of the stuff you're listening to. Um, and who the message is coming from. Now, it could be from somebody. I'm saying you can get a real message from all different forms. Is what I always tell people, because the messenger, don't miss the message because the messenger. But what I'm saying is that some of these guys are
Not
talking from
qualified.
they're talking from their current stage of life and not the journey that they were on, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of contradicts themselves. And it's just crazy that I would just say our people. I see a lot of our people pushing that narrative, and it's just kind of crazy. I'm kind of tired of talking about it because that's something that shouldn't even be talked about. Um, let's just talk about success. People mindsets
Yeah.
need
Talk
to
about
switch to,
success, man.
yeah,
Talk
like
about the people who did go to college or people
think
who
about
did do stuff and
it's
been
simple, but
successful.
it's simple. Think about what you want. Everybody needs to think about what they want in their life, right? You think about that. And then you think about how I'm gonna get there. Which path am I gonna take that can get me there? Whatever that is, whatever you want. Which path? Is it you know what I'm saying? Is it just self-educating? Is it working my way up? Is it getting me some credentials under my belt? Is it getting a degree? Is it a formal education? What is it?
Yeah.
But you got to know what that is. But neither route is a bad route, but you got to want something for yourself. But now it's just all bad when it comes to college. It's starting to become in our community like real negative. And I don't know where that's coming from, but I want people to be aware of it. Like, yeah. So we got some comments we ain't really got into. What Auntie Jordy say? Say he just fed. They saying if you don't want a black person to know something, put it in a book. Exactly. Exactly. If you don't want a black person to know something, put it in a book. That's been said for a very long time, and there's truth in that. Naturally, because a lot of people don't like to read, a lot of people don't like to educate. That's why I'm telling you on some of and you can relate when you get into certain circles. It's a very common question for people to talk about what you're reading. What are you reading now? It's a conversational piece. What are you reading now? It's a
Yeah.
test. It's a meeting of the minds. And after I didn't understand it at first, but after I started reading and really understanding literature and doing things like that, and I got around somebody and I asked him. Actually, it was a guy that was like two notches above me in corporate America. And I asked him, "Hey, what are you reading?" And I tried to give him something to read. And he said, and listen, I had an extra copy because I had it on an audio book and I had it on a hard copy. I said, I got a copy right here in my bag. You take this, you read it. Bro, it was a simple read. This was like 150 pages. It was just on leadership, right? He was like, nah, I don't need that. Okay. What that showed me, and the way he said it was more so like he's too good to one, take information from somebody else, two, to even read. You know what I mean? That showed me that he's already stopped growing mentally. He's already stopped growing. He's slowing up his process of
Here-
growing. Like he got that
Yeah.
wall up, like, nah, I'm good. How are you good? The world is ever changing, right? And that's how you get left in the past. That's how some young up and comer like myself will eat you up every single time because you feel like you know enough. You feel like you can't take in any more information, and I'm gonna eat you up every time. My kids teach me something. You think that you get what I'm saying? If I let my 5-year-old and 11-year-old teach me something, that's what I'm just saying. People in their mindsets. You could be a young fool and you could be an old fool. You could be an older person that could be looked at like an elder, or you could just be somebody that's just older than me. That don't make
Yeah.
you an elder. That don't make you wise just because you're older. And just because you're young, don't make you a fool either. I've seen it on both ends. You know what I'm saying? So it's all on the individuals.
One of the reasons I tell people to read, like I be advocating for it, is because this is my theory on it. I used to, back when we was in Hammond High, one of our teachers, I forgot who it was, but told us to write a letter to somebody that we wanted to write to. It was like ninth grade or something like that. I wanted to write a letter to Bill Gates. Okay. So these are the people I want to meet. Bill Gates. I want to meet probably 50 Cent. Uh I want to meet Warren Buffett. I mean, just like all these different people that I'd like to meet just to pick their brain, like just talk to them about different things. Um I don't know if I ever meet them people, right? Just like there's some people that you might want to meet that's famous or whatever it is, you might not meet them. But I tell you this, the way I can talk to them is through a book. That's what I'm trying to tell people. This is the reason you should read autobiographies. This is the reason you should read different books by written by like Elon Musk or something, because that's your only way of getting into how they think, why they did something, or what their reasoning was. Like that's how you get it. So I'm not
Right.
just telling people just to read, just to read. That's how you can get the knowledge from people that you can't actually talk to physically. You see what I'm saying? So it's important that people
Yeah.
do that.
And I would tell people that like, when we talk about, and then we can move on, but when we talk about like reading, I don't consider myself like I had to build this up.
I'm
And I
not a like
remember,
avid reader either. Yeah.
yeah, I remember in school, like I could read a whole big old book and not even remember the words that I just read. Didn't really, the information, I didn't retain it. You know what I mean? And I tell
Yeah.
anybody out there, pick something that you like, somebody that you admire, somebody you look up to, aspire to be like, or a field you want to get into, or whatever, and read upon that, or read that person's autobiography, like you said, or whatever, and watch how this has helped me. If I care about something and it's in that literature, or I like I said, I find somebody's life story interesting or something, I can read that stuff one time and like get it all. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't put it down and you want more. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. That's a little tip that I would tell people, especially people that learn like I learn, because we all learn differently. Get some things that you can relate to and watch how you retain that information. Um,
Yeah.
Read something in a field or something that and again, what we're talking about here is self-educating. We ain't talking about spending money going to school and all that. We're talking self-educating. You can download a book on your phone. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things, man. But I would like to see some of the people in the comments just kind of, talk about, and I want to ask y'all this. You know, what are some of the things that y'all think about in terms of, you know, just things people can put into place? Because, you know, I consider myself a pretty okay smart guy, but I like to surround myself around smarter people. And I consider some of these people in the comments, and all of us can learn from each other. So, what are some of the things while we're talking that y'all can think about that people can do, that you would say people can do to set themselves up for success, to better themselves? Some things that they could put
Stand
into
out from the
practice.
competition.
Right, winging out the competition, becoming that that person that stands out. So, what are some of the things? And this is for the people in the comment section. Think about it. Put it in there. We're gonna talk about it. We got a little time left, so
Yeah,
just kind of
this stems from, because I told you earlier today that a lot of people losing their jobs right now,
yes,
right? And then a
yeah,
lot of people looking for work right now, and they don't
yeah.
understand how to go get it and what they need to do. It seems like you're filling out these applications, and you're just not getting called back. So how do you stand out from the competition? Because you're competing right now. What are some things that you guys do?
You know, and while people thinking about it, I mean, life is going life, bro. A lot of people losing their jobs. It's crazy that all this is the times we living in is crazy. A lot of people losing their jobs, and then there's still a lot of people that don't even want to work.
Yeah,
They don't even want to work. Why don't you, Georgia, put in there? You first have to identify your strengths and what most interests you, then research how to get there.
yeah,
Yeah, I say absolutely. Because again, it goes down, like I said, be honest with yourself. We are good at something, and we're all good at something, and we're all good at something different. My strength may be different from your strength. Your strength may be different from mine, but you identify that. Um, do your homework on it and figure how you can grow that thing. How can you go from, you know, just being the status quo to being the overachiever? Or if 10 of us have the got the bare minimum requirements for a job, what are you going to do to set yourself aside from me? Is it going to
I can give
be,
you a little trick.
go ahead, what you say?
Because I like to be really like hands on and like real world take on this. So I'll give you an example. So this is a real fact here. When when men go and search for a job, things, they see a job they want to get. You might have 10 jobs, right? 10 job descriptions. The men ready to apply for them. They look at the qualifications, they look at what the job holds and what it calls for. And if it says you need this, and that, a man will look at it and say, I got 20% of the requirements. Let's go. I'm applying. But
Yeah,
the women, on the other hand, literally women go through that job description, and if they don't meet 100%, 95, 100%, they ain't applying. So I
no,
want to tell the women out there that please understand that you're never going to meet 100% of the requirements.
no,
Right now, they're using Chat GPT AI to even write job descriptions. Ain't no way you're going to touch that. I think that if you see the job description and you like what it entails, apply for it. I don't care if it says you need this, and that, because I'm going to tell you this. The job descriptions are written that way sometimes just for regulatory purposes. HR makes them do that. But ultimately, the hiring manager has to say so if he want to hire you or not. So you could go in there with half of the qualifications on paper, but when they start talking to you and they understand what you know, you'll shoe in. And I just think that what I used to do is, and if I was in college, right? Or if I was, let's say I was getting ready to get a new skill and I haven't got the certification for it yet. I'm putting that on my resume.
yeah,
Either I'm gonna put on there that I'm studying it, or it's complete by this date. Whatever it is, you gotta be able to speak to your resume, put things on there that will show them that you're like on track to do that. And that's okay to do. You ain't got to wait until you finish it. Put it on there now and speak about it. Entice them enough to get you to the table to talk. That's all we trying to do. Do what you need to do to get them to the table, get you on the phone. Cause I need to talk to somebody on the phone before I can let you know what I really can do for the
look,
company.
facts, definitely. And before I move on, because I want to get into Chris' comment, I want when we talk about females, I have a female coworker that I talked to earlier today. Um, and we were just talking about like development, next stages, and everything like that. And she was saying that she had a bunch of great reviews on this one thing to get into this leadership program. But then one particular person said that she comes across as rude and her body language is off putting. So she asked me, people always ask me because they know, be careful what you ask me because I'm gonna keep it a buck, But I had to tell her, I said, I don't think you come across as rude at all. I think you come across as straightforward and you don't
Yeah.
mind telling people differently than what they expect. So if they expect you to say yes, you say no. But I said what I find value is that you actually have
Yeah.
facts and you can elaborate why you say no. You have, you know what I mean? You're not just talking and BS in the BS. If you have something to say that's against what everybody else is saying, you also have supporting facts on why you think that way. And I said, so as I said, and also as a woman, for sure, I feel like you should definitely have to speak up in a male dominated, you know,
Absolutely.
workforce that I work in, where if you are all quiet and docile, they're just gonna run over you. So I think she does a great job of articulating herself. And when she speaks, 9 times out of 10, she's right. So they just don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It goes back to what I said before, and I told her earlier, and I said that's probably because it's not about the message, it's the messenger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I could say the same thing and people would take it one way, but because it's you, it's more so, you know, you shouldn't even be here. You should be lucky to even be here. But I understand bigger than anybody what that's like. So
Yeah.
let me get into what Chris said right here, bro. I like this one. Chris said, I tried to apply for restaurants. Um, bro, doing big things with the restaurants and the cheesecakes and everything else, man. I'll be seeing them news articles and everything, bro. And we wrestled together and everything. So man, I'm proud of you, bro. But he said I tried to apply for a few restaurants. They told me I was overqualified for the position. Sometimes you have to, dumb yourself down. Hey, I promise you, I know exactly what that's like. I've found myself um trying to transition at times and leaving stuff off of my resume because I felt like if they know exactly who I was and exactly what I was capable of, I wouldn't get that position for what I needed that position for. Right. Um, because you're going to either look at me like a threat, you're going to think that I'm trying to take your job, but they might not even understand. I just need to get here to learn this. Right. Um, like right now. Um, Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
You being, you having all that technical background and engineering, you know how to build computers, you know how to do all the other stuff. And I know you worked at Geek Squad. Um, there's some places that if you put all of your credentials down, they won't hire you.
No, so I'll give you an example. So
Even if it's
like,
for a lower wage. That's what I'm saying. If you apply for a job
right,
right now that's $15 an hour, they
right.
might not hire you.
No, I give you a real story about this.
And it
I give
is
you a real
crazy.
story. Yeah, I'll give you a real story. So a couple years back, no, it wasn't even a couple years back. It was like maybe 2 years back. It was that recent where my job situations was rocky and like it was at the point where I was like, because I told you I don't have no pride. Like, but if I got to go work somewhere, grocery store, whatever, I'm gonna do it. But here's the situation: there were times where, like back, like when I was applying like Geek Squad, like trying to get a tech job, that I was an engineer, right? They see I'm a degree engineer and all this and that. And when I tried to apply for those lower level roles, right, they wouldn't hire me because they said I'm overqualified. So I had to take off. I had to redo my resume, take
Right.
off like my
Right.
my bachelor's degree. I had to take off all that experience and put down things like library job and things like that because that's exactly right. And there's two things behind that. One, they don't think you're going to stay if you come there. And two, the hiring manager, whoever it is, may think that you're going to want more money or you're going to try and overtake something. But here's my thing about this. I'm gonna let you go back to it. I don't care no more. I would tell everybody out there, you might have a different opinion on this, but I'm just me. I'm telling you not to remove nothing. Because at some point, if you get the job, even if you get the job, you take all that off, your true gifts is gonna show. and you're gonna find yourself in a bind because now you ain't got no choice but to perform. You gonna show your God given talent, and they gonna get mad at you anyway. So put it on the table, put it on the floor, or first rip, put it out there because they're either gonna accept you or they're gonna deny you, and you can surpass that headache by them being up front. They don't want you and go find somewhere else where you really want it.
It, I only thing I would say is that it depends on the situation that you're in. If you're just talking about adding additional streams of income, or if you're talking about, um, just I'm in a bad spot and I need to be able to put some beans on the table for my family, you might have to take something off that resume, bro, because they're not going now. But if we just talking about a chess move, like, hey, I want to make an extra 100 bands, I want to make an extra 20,000 this year, or I want to be able to do that. Yeah, okay, then I could.
In that sense.
But if you find yourself in a situation that it's tough because people will find you like a threat and they won't hire you. They're gonna get so caught up on why he want to work here. He gonna mess around, take my job, and all that other silly stuff. When you're not even thinking like that, you just life is life, and you may be in a bit of a pickle, and you're just trying to get a little job to tie you over until you know what I'm saying for 6 months or a year until you get back into your field. But they're not even gonna give you the time of day. They're gonna look at that resume and be like, I'm not hiring him. They're gonna fire me if I hire him because I don't even got some of this credentials that this dude got.
Yeah.
So I get what he was. I get what he was saying. But I know we winding down, but I want to make sure we answer a couple of these questions. And again, we're gonna get more into the hiring and everything and resumes and stuff. But you asked the question, so I'm gonna answer it right here and right now. I've been in a position to be a hiring manager for a lot of times. I've a lot of experience being a hiring manager. And what I would say is what we look for
Read the question
is
though, because we put
it's,
this on
it's how many pages should the ideal resume be? I would say the ideal resume, depending on the position, needs to be a one pager. And I know that's hard for somebody out there because they're like, wait, I got so much. Because think about it. If I'm looking through 50 resumes and I still got to do my own job and I still got to run a business, I don't have time to read a novel. I don't have time to read 4 or 5 pages, right? So if you could get it to one page, that would be grand. I would say 2 pages max. And there's different levels that we will get into as we continue to talk on resumes. You got you got professional resumes to where, you may want to lay out different things. And then you got other resumes to where, depending on the job that you're applying for, you may, the easier way to kind of chop down some of that information is to, let's say if you got experience in sales, you got experience in management, you got experience in HR, but you're going for a sales position. You might want to leave off some of that HR stuff. You could probably take off some of that stuff and beef up your resume with information geared more towards what you're currently applying for. And that will help you kind of condense it and make it more impactful when we're looking at it. When you got that quick snapshot to come above my desk and I'm looking at it, be like, okay, this is clean, precise. It's relevant to everything we're looking for, not all over the place. So, and that's for people that, like, if you're like me, who you got a wide skill set, you can kind of condense it and still make it impactful. So I said a lot to say that one pager, if possible, 2 pager max. I've never provided or read a resume that's 3, 4, 5 pages. And again, not saying you can't, because I don't know what a nurse's resume look like. I've never hired a nurse. I don't know what a doctor's resume look like. I've never hired a doctor. I'm just talking for the majority of workers that are out there. That's as a hiring manager, that's what I look for. And then jobs that I've gotten, I've never provided anybody with a booklet of everything I've done. I've tailored it depending on what that role is that I'm currently applying for.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. What you say is true, but I don't be caring. I don't. I'm just so
What you mean by that, man?
because man, the resume thing is so subjective. It's like whoever is reading your resume can say what they don't like, what they do like. Like I've been through so many resume changes based on the course of applying and talking to different recruiters and them come back, you need to put this up top. No, you need to put this up top. No, you need to take that out. I just think that if you apply for a job that resonates with your resume, the keywords on there, all you need to hope for is to get a call back. If you can talk to a real person, then you will get in. I still think that the facts you said is true. It should be one page. It should be at the most two. And I think the way you get down to that, because people will be like, I got 10 years of experience. How am I gonna do that? I don't want to leave off this job. You have what you have to do is what you just said, Greg. You have to list those other roles, just company and title, and maybe one bullet point, or just company and title.
Because
You need
because
to
look,
stick to the
the
hold on, I'm
jobs
gonna let
tip.
you go.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
You need to stick to whatever job you're applying to. Elaborate on one job that focuses on that title that you're applying for. That's where you can put all your things, what you've done.
Yeah. And before we get out of here, I would just say that, another little tip, and I promise you, we're gonna have some structured content for this one because this is powerful. Interviewing is powerful, getting a job is powerful, setting yourself aside is powerful. And we're gonna bring that to y'all. We're gonna make sure that at some point we put that together and put that out there. But I will leave you with this. And if we're talking specifically about the resume situation and trying to downsize that resume, look at the job description also that you're applying for. Connect the dots for the
Yeah,
employer, right? So
yeah,
go through that 10 years of experience. You see what they're looking for. Put in there what you have and connect those dots for them. So when they're reading that resume, you already know what they're looking for. They're telling you in the job description. Taylor, bring out those skills that you have that already are what they're looking for. That way they can just read it just like that and
yeah,
connect those dots. Bam, 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 bam. Think about it. They're telling you what they're looking for. And if you already got those skills, make sure you get those on there. Once you get those on there, then see what type of room you got. But make sure you get those on there for sure because they're telling you that's what I'm looking for
yeah.
first and foremost.
Literally. And that's the problem. Most people don't want to take the time and effort to tailor the resume to that specific job because if they're doing 20, you got to alter your resume 20 times. But I'm telling you, and nowadays they're using systems that read the resume, some people. So if they're going to run your resume through the system and the system is going to compare it to their job description, if you don't meet a percentage of it, you're not getting a call. Google does this all the time. Google ain't going through nobody resumes
No.
manually. They send it through a process, a system. So that's what I'm saying. The reason you're not getting calls back is because you're not tailoring your resume to what the job description says. Look at the job description and pull the keywords off. Don't just do it verbatim. Pull the keywords off and put it in your resume.
Yeah.
Man,
So, I mean, you know, let's wrap this thing on up, man. We got to work on that master plan we got going for the people, man. And that
yeah.
starts very soon. So I feel like today was good. I feel like we had a good conversation. We picked up on some things that I wanted to make sure we didn't forget with the social media pressures. We talked about, you know, just the mindset behind some education and formal education and how that's poison in the community, and that narrative is starting to just grow, that negativity around formal education, which is crazy. And then we also talk about a little bit about some job stuff too. So show a little bit of range, man. I like it. Good conversation. Always a good time talking with people, good talking with each other. This is just like a conversation we have on the phone. We just invite everybody else in too.
Doing three-way, four-way, six-way.
Yeah,
All that.
man. So um, I ain't gonna hold it up, man. But this was another one. This is All You Redemption Podcast. I always tell my people, continue to like, share, subscribe, come back for more. Tune in with the lives, tune in on YouTube for the full length recordings that we've had, the full episodes that are on YouTube. Share and come back with more. Let's continue to talk, let's continue to grow every week. I feel like every time, bro, we leave, we shut it down. I feel like we've grown a little bit. I feel like the people have grown a little bit. You know what I mean? Um, And I think that's what it's about. And
Yeah.
it's very motivating. And that's what continue to bring us to set time aside from our families, our lives, our careers to come back
Yeah.
to chat. And so kudos to everybody that's chiming in. And every week it seems like we got somebody new and new. So make sure you
Yeah.
tell somebody else. And without further ado, man, we're gonna get the people back some of their time. It's your boy G White, man. It's IU Redemption Podcast.
Big speaker.
We
Holla
out.
at you.